pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sent on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her! Whoa, what a play!
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProviewSports.com.
Mitch, there's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
And there's still an amazing accomplishment. And when Framber Valdez threw the 16th no-hitter last night in the history of the Houston Astros and became the first lefty to ever do it solo. There were solos in a group no-hitter. On the same day that the Astros reacquire Justin Verlander, there was something magical about being a Houston Astro and being an Astro fan. But Framber Valdez no-hits the Cleveland Guardians. He allowed one base runner, a walk in the 5th, faced the minimum because they erased that runner on a double play. And the Astros look really, really good. Oh, by the way, they are the defending champs. Good morning to you. Are you ready? It's not August 28th yet. You're not paying attention to baseball yet. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck.
Gotta let the trade simmer a little bit, see how they impact.
All right, so I can't. I can talk about it. You don't have to until the 28th of August, right? Right when we start football. Is that about right?
Absolutely.
Pretty cool though. No.
Justin Verlander is made for Houston. They should have never parted ways. It works. It's why he's back there now. Houston got a better deal on it. The Mets are covering.
How about that?
Portions of his salary over the next few seasons,
so
it works
ridiculous
out for Houston. But they're just meant to be. They're meant to be together.
They get the Astros. The Astros get Justin Verlander back, and there's that trigger in next year's deal that if Verlander pitches 140 innings, that he's on the hook for $42 million or something like that. And it was $92 million, right? And it'll be 42. And so they got the Mets to pay a big chunk of it. It's what are the Mets doing? Of everything, we hear the Mets are in the Ohtani business. That while the Mets are going to spend all that money on Ohtani, are they? I mean, Max Scherzer just went out and said, no, I talked to the GM and he said, we're not going for big free agents in the offseason. I said, well, then trade me. Right? Next year's going to be a transition year. Well, that's what you want to hear, especially when you're 40 years old. Yeah, put me on a team that's in a transition year. We're not going to go after free agents. We're not going to try to win. Yeah, put me on one of those. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but it was pretty cool last night. All right, lots to do today here on The Sports NFL. Jeff, JJ, DC, how you living back there?
I am living good, and I am loving that shirt.
You want it?
I need to hit the gym a few times before that happens.
you can have it. Thank you. I hadn't worn that one in a while. All right, lots going on in the NFL. Camps are open. Cooper Kupp's out. This is a bummer. Cooper Kupp was out, missed it last year. Remember, he had an injury. He underwent an MRI on an injured hamstring yesterday, left practice, the Rams wide receiver. They'll be cautious with him. He was, of course, the Super Bowl MVP when the Rams won Super Bowl 56. Walked off the field during a 2-hour workout. He was 30 minutes into it. Matthew Stafford said he didn't really see exactly what happened. Came up a little bit in a route. This potentially, I mean, big for a team who has very, very little, if any, margin of error.
Always a bummer, especially Cooper Kupp is trending the wrong direction in the back half of his career. Instead of a guy that's finding a way to get it done, he's the guy that, fortunately, always finds himself on the sideline.
That's 2 in a row. I mean, he had the torn knee ligament. Missed the final 8 games of his second season in 2018. He missed the final 8 games of last year with an ankle sprain. So that if this is significant time, this would be the third. And he is, I don't know, he's never mentioned when we say who are the best receivers in the NFL. Oh, it's Jamar Chase, it's DeAndre Hopkins, it's Tyreek Hill, it's, I don't know.
Cooper Kupp's right there.
Look at the numbers.
That season he had when we were legitimately talking about him being an MVP candidate.
Yep.
He's right there.
I think so.
But when you're not on the field, you go on through injuries, you start falling down that list even more.
Yeah. So Ram fan, watch that. We'll watch that for you because I think that's significant. It feels like every day we're getting some sort of injury news out of camp, right? And a significant injury.
It's survival mode.
Yeah.
Once camp starts, you know players are going to get hurt. You're doing athletic things, even in non-contact situations. Your body is going to respond in certain ways. And for the Rams, it's just really frustrating because they didn't do anything wrong. This isn't, they traded too many first-round picks, this or that. Like, if Stafford was on the field, Cooper Kupp is healthy, this is still a competitive football team. However, it's just not happening.
Yeah, yeah. The other issue is holdouts, right? And big-name holdouts. Bosa, Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. We're watching what's going on there, and so I'm looking at Raiders camp, and the Raiders say they're open to reopening conversation. Well, of course you are. At some point, Josh Jacobs goes to work, right? Do you guys believe he's going to say, what are they negotiating? This is where I come down to it. I don't even know where we are. There was the deadline. You're either coming to camp and working on that $10.1 million 1-year franchise tag, or you're not going to work. Right?
Same thing that happened with Saquon Barkley.
They can give him a little more bonus?
Like incentives.
Okay.
In the deal.
All right. Then I for the life of me don't understand that damn bonus. And I see you shaking your head. Because you and I were having that, I think you were out that week. You and I were having that conversation, right? That's what the deadline on the 17th meant.
Right. No more negotiations. So, yeah, it is very bizarre that they would be openly talking about negotiating again. So.
Whatever, but that's fine. So he didn't sign his franchise tag. He cannot be fined for missing these mandatory portions of the offseason because he's technically not under contract. The Raiders are interested in reopening talks with him in hopes of getting him to rejoin the team. CBS is reporting this, that if Jacobs and the Raiders do not work things out, and he's made available, whether it's a free agent by the Raiders rescinding the tag, and I don't know, why would they do that? Why would they rescind the franchise tag and just let him walk? Is there any reason? Would they get like a compensatory pick if somebody else signs him?
Well, the reason is we sit here and say how bad the running back market is. So what do you think you're getting for these players?
Well, more than
we're
nothing.
Not going to pay these players. No one's going to trade a first-round pick for those.
More than nothing, right? I mean, I don't know. You want to give me a third-round pick? It's a hell of a lot more than nothing, right? Why would you just say, yeah, okay, good, go sign
Well,
someone?
Why is any of this happening with the running backs? If you feel they're valuable and you want them on your team, but we've obviously capped their value when it comes to salary, and this is why you're butting heads. But then you're going to say, I want more than a third-round pick, then what's the value in this kid?
So, Sport Track, and I know you're big into Sports Track, but they project it. Jacobs' market value over 4 years is $51.4 million. So they project his average, what he should be making is about 12.8, which feels right coming off of that 1 year. You're telling me franchise is 10.1, the highest paid guy is 16. Okay. But based on the need for running back and salary cap, the top five, but again, I just don't get it. Eagles,
you can't negotiate a long-term deal. You can only sign a 1-year deal.
You still can sign a 1-year deal on the franchise deal?
Franchise tag with incentives like Saquon Barkley.
All right.
But they're not going to, from what it says after that deadline, you don't see guys signing multi-year deals.
Yeah. So Tony Pollard signed his deal. So he's getting his 10.1. Right? Saquon getting it plus incentives and the signing bonus. All right. I got to believe at some point he goes to work. Again, I don't know the guys, especially understanding running backs aren't going to get that mega deal. Can you walk away from $10 million for a year? knowing that your window's short, knowing that it doesn't matter if you don't have wear and tear on your body. They look at, how old's Dalvin Cook? 28, right? And they're telling me he's too old, that he's an old running back, that his window's closing. Like, what are we doing? I just don't believe that I can see him walking away and just flat out saying, yeah, I'm good. Don't pay me. I'm not going to work this year. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, when we come back, there's a lot of talking. A whole lot of talking. Nathaniel Hackett spoke yesterday. Good to hear from old Nady Hack. Defended himself against Sean Payton. Sean Payton's been backing up. Aaron Rodgers is piling on. Everybody seems to be taking shots at the Broncos coach. What Nathaniel Hackett said in defense of himself and what it all really means. And did they break the code? The code. Remember we got unwritten rules in baseball? Did you know that you had unwritten rules in coaching? That's a fact. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
It's time for kickoff and the Believe podcast.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
So you got unwritten rules in baseball, right? You knew you had unwritten rules in baseball. Whatever the unwritten rules in baseball are. But they're unwritten. Did you know you had unwritten coaching code? I mean, I don't even know what that is either. I don't know that the coaches know what that is. It feels like it's probably some sort of, I don't know.
Because with
common sense,
yeah, anything. It's I don't know whatever your profession you're in, you gotta understand. As Nathaniel Hackett gonna lay out, I'll live in a glass house. Start throwing stones, things are gonna crack.
Feels that way. All right, so Nathaniel Hackett is the former Denver Broncos coach. He is the current offensive coordinator with the New York Football Jets. The current Broncos coach, Sean Payton, without by name, but referred to Nathaniel Hackett last year, doing the worst coaching job in the history of the NFL. And it might be. I mean, it was one of the two, wasn't it? I mean, look, there were some bad ones. There were some Al Groh Jet years. There were Wayne Fonts years with the Lions. There were some bad coaching jobs in the NFL. But last year's was pretty bad. And it might have been. Before we hear Nathaniel Hackett's response, do you agree that Sean Payton crossed the line and shouldn't have said something? Shouldn't have said that. How about that? As pointed as...
I don't totally agree with it. Okay. Like, I can understand...
Because I'm with you.
The code in coaches not taking direct shots at other coaches in an industry. But my whole thing is once it's out there...
Yep. Back it up.
Back it up and be ready for it to come back at you. And if that's the game you want to play, you better be ready for it. And someone obviously got Sean Payton's ear and told him to back off it. But it's out there. We're here now. And who thought that the Week 5 game between Denver and the New York Jets, oh, it's football, we're going to watch it. No, people are going to be tuning into this one. And these guys have lit a fire under that matchup.
Kind of must see on that one, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, here's Nathaniel Hackett responding yesterday to what Sean Payton had to say about him.
As a coach, as a coach's kid, we live in a glass house. We know that. We all live in different rooms. We all got a key for it. And it's one of those things that there's a code, there's a way things are done in that house. And, this past week, it's frustrating and it sucks, but we're all susceptible to it. There are things that you do, mistakes you make. It's unfortunate that had to happen, that the comments that were made, but hey, they did. I'll tell you, I was probably more surprised that they happened now. Was definitely expecting them in Week 5. So I'm almost thankful that we got that out of the way. We all understand where certain people feel and think.
You didn't get it out of the way, man. It's good. Like, with all due respect, it's coming back again in Week 5, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I thought that was a really good response from Nathaniel Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he laid it out there and saying, yeah, you're in this business, you're gonna take it. You have to own it. And he knew he wasn't good, and it didn't work out in Denver, and he wasn't trying to make excuses for it. Can you be blindsided and frustrated that Sean Payton came after you? Absolutely. but he also didn't try to make excuses, and Nathaniel Hackett didn't blame it on anyone else. And so I thought that response was fantastic from him. Now, is he going to take more shots when he gets to week 5? Potentially.
Yeah, he is.
But for as much junk as he has taken, I thought Nathaniel Hackett that's all he can do right now.
I think the week 5 thing's going to be interesting. Guys come over to him. You know, always guys come over in pregame and give you a hug and catch up. I mean, I wonder how much of that.
But he was we all saw it. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett was just overwhelmed.
Yeah,
he just wasn't ready for the moment. It was a combination of so many things. I think Russell Wilson took advantage of the situation by being the Super Bowl winning veteran quarterback, kind of doing what he wants. Hackett just not able to wrap his mind around all the responsibilities, having to hire a time management coach. Like, he was just in the deep end, unable to swim. But now, moving forward, when you got Aaron Rodgers back on your side, you're an OC, not a head coach. It wasn't this, hot take ground bacon response at Peyton, but I thought he handled it well for as much junk as he's taking.
I think that's right. What else could he have said? He didn't blame it on anybody else. He didn't blame it on the situation. I inherited a situation where the quarterback was on the down. He played like crap, and our line was bad, and we were injured. No excuses in it. I think he handled. I agree with you 100% as well as he could have. Now, he said he has not received an apology from Sean Payton. He doesn't expect Payton to follow through on his promise to apologize. And he does believe that Payton broke the coaching fraternity code. He was asked, do you believe he broke the code? I do, he said. He said the criticism, as you heard, was very expected. You knew it was going to happen. You knew he was going to handle it that way at some point. That's how it was going all last year. End quote. Meaning when he was on TV, he was ripping him. Right? When Sean Payton was an analyst at Fox Sports, he was ripping into, and look, who was it? I mean, you were, he was a bad coach, dude. It was a bad head coaching situation. Some guys are really good coordinators. This didn't work. Aaron Rodgers has his back. Aaron Rodgers is like, that's my guy. He called Peyton insecure. Said, I will always have his back. He's a good person, and he didn't deserve all that. I don't know, man. I'm listening to it, and I'm not sure that anything Sean Payton said wasn't true. First and foremost, right? I mean, I think what he said was true. Did he break a code? Did he go overboard? Should he have not said? Should he have not hurt his feelings? I imagine there's a decorum. I guess.
And for Aaron Rodgers, he's the dude that talks.
It's
and
rich,
he
right?
also said everyone has opinions. You're not gonna like everyone's opinion. I didn't like this one. So this is a back and forth that I think Sean Payton, on what you said, the Jets are coming, and if it's a good day for the Jets in that game, you never know. Fourth quarter, are there a couple extra aggressive drives there from Nathaniel Hackett, because that would be his way of getting.
So you think if the Jets are up 24-10 and they jam it up their backside,
that'd be one of those games where you get a little extra.
I'm not sure
in
I'd
the
blame him,
contest.
by the way. Would you? And I think Robert Saleh would let him go do it.
Probably. Yes.
Yeah, go make a point. Yeah, be an interesting little handshake at midfield. I'm going to go back to the Sean Payton thing. And I know he's respected. Was he a great analyst? He was fine, right? I mean, he was like, it was good, fine. He wasn't. I mean, I don't know. What'd you guys think of him on Fox?
He was all right. It didn't stand out really.
He was a name, right?
Correct.
So any guy who wins the Super Bowl gets the credit, right? It's when a guy makes a Hall of Fame and he signs an autograph, puts HOF in the year, it's kind of a little extra cred to it, right? And there's not a lot of guys who've won the Super Bowl, especially in the last 2 decades, right? I mean, I could think of, probably 7 coaches, 8 coaches, right? I mean, Patriots have won it 7 times. Tomlin won it twice. Andy Reid's won it twice. I mean, there's not that many left. It's a pretty select fraternity. So when you get to that point, you get elevated a little bit. Is he the ilk of a coach? I know he's got the respect and the paycheck of a guy who can say whatever he wants, who is thought to be the savior. don't know, man. He won that one year, and it was a special year in New Orleans, and I think that's why, because it was coming off of Katrina, right? It was it was so magical for that city. He resurrected Drew Brees. I don't know if you remember the whole Drew Brees thing, but the Chargers flat out didn't want Drew Brees. He had the shoulder injury, and he was with the Chargers. Chargers like, yeah, we're going to move on. And he convinced him. Remember, he was going to sign with Nick Saban in Miami. And
they wouldn't clear it.
And they didn't clear him. Miami
but
didn't.
They cleared Dante Culpepper.
That's right.
Good job, Miami.
Miami, I mean, just if you want to go back to a moment in history where Lord knows how many things would be different, if Drew Brees would have got cleared medically to sign in Miami when Nick Saban was the coach, would Nick Saban still be in the NFL? What would college football look like today, right? And who the hell would Sean Payton be? But Sean Payton won one, and I'll give him all the credit in the world for winning that one. But has he earned the level of I don't know if respect's even the word, but the elevation that he is, the pedestal level, the level that he is put on in regards to NFL. He's put up there with Andy Reid, and I think people think he's better than Tomlin. And I mean, Belichick's another story, right? But as far as if you ask people who's the best coaches in the league right now, I think everybody's going to tell you Peyton's in the top 5, and I'm like, okay, he had that one glorious year in New Orleans, and it was special and it was magical, and the city needed it, and it was storybook. But I don't know, is what has he done to be able to be this guy?
9-8 in his playoff career.
Yeah.
With the Saints, he had, of course, 3 NFC Championship game appearances.
Okay, that's good. All with Drew Brees, right? He had a quarterback.
Lost 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. I'm not telling you he's not good. But is he elite? Me thinks no. And so there's part of me, and not even part of me, there's me who's sitting here just going, where does this dude get off? Now, the other part of me is saying, well, dude's right. And he's respected and people are listening, and he did win a Super Bowl, and so he does know, and he does have that status for whatever reason. I don't know, I'm really conflicted on this because what he said wasn't false, right? Where are you guys on this? I mean, do you think Sean Payton's all that?
I think that there is definitely an elevated sense of who he is versus what he's done.
Yeah, that's all.
He's a fantastic offensive coach at a lot of competitive football teams, but not sitting there with a bunch of get out of jail free cards.
That's kind of my thought. All right, you're ringing the phones at 505-246-0610 here on the Sports Animal or the Sports NFL. We could have this guy, and I know you want to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it. I maybe this is why Sean Payton is thought. He began his coaching career as offensive assistant at San Diego State. I mean, maybe that's why. I don't know.
Now all of a sudden,
now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah,
and we got
the best coaches in the NFL, Sean Payton.
And we got to talk about that. All right, you're weighing in on this. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. I know, probably nobody's ever said that. I'm listening. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This message brought to you by the Rio Rancho.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Sports would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Kumbaya, loving life in New York. So with Aaron Rodgers, I think a lot of it was a little humbled at the end in Green Bay when he realized that he was not the man with all the power. He comes out of that cave. And you're like, yeah, you know what, Aaron? We're going to take some phone calls. I think we're going to move on.
Let me take some phone calls.
And then now in New York saying this could be a partnership that lasts a few years. Maybe ignited by Sean Payton. Taking pay cuts. Who are these Jets with Aaron Rodgers?
Well, they haven't won a game yet. All right, what says you? 505-246-0610. Get them more dark, right? The coffee stains won't show as much. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right, let's go. It's the Sports Animal phone line and text line, 505-246-0610. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, man? What's happening? Speech?
Not much.
Where you been?
Hey, I just want to say, Sean Payton, no one talks about Bountygate. And, he was a head coach, and he says he didn't know what was going on. How can you be the head coach and not know what's going on?
You know how that works,
and
man.
Also, there was a scandal about they were maybe listening in on other players
in the locker room
or other teams' plays. I'm just saying, if you're a great coach, you don't have those scandals.
So
Don Shula doesn't have
Belichick
it.
does. Belichick does.
I know, and I would
don't
not
think he's
put Belichick in the category of Andy Reid.
Ooh, all right.
I don't know. They say if you're not cheating, you're not trying to win. But, there are certain things. If you get caught, that's the price you pay.
That's the price you
pay. And Nathaniel Hackett, no, I'm just saying, it comes with the territory. You're getting 6 figures to do that job, and
7.
It comes with it.
Maybe 8.
If he was that pissed off, why doesn't he get some of the money back?
That's fair. Good to hear your speech. Don't be a stranger, man. See you soon.
Okay.
Later. 8 figures for him, right? 6 figures. You can't get a video coordinator for that anymore, can you?
On the NFL.
DeRocher was in here earlier. Remember, who was the first guy to get $1 million a year? And I'm pretty sure it was Dave Parker. And I remember saying, $1 million a year to play baseball. Holy bleep. What's happened to society? Your video guy's doing that now. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Good morning. First and foremost, I thoroughly enjoyed last week attending your 15-year anniversary. You know, when I rolled up, the consensus in the crowd as I stepped through the velvet ropes was, I didn't know Ronaldo was going to be here, Ronaldo of the Southwest. And it was good to meet Rudy and Terry, fellow Patriots fan. And they're like, Ed, not only are you, Edward, not only are you devastatingly handsome, more devastatingly handsome than I thought, but even more tragically brilliant. So the most uncomfortable conversation I had with the host Sway was that his Cowboys are going to finish third in their division. I know there's high hopes this year, but that's my early prediction for the NFL season.
All right.
It's what's more likely, the Cowboys win a playoff game or finish third in their division?
Third.
I'll take the latter.
Yep, I will too.
Third in their division, my man. I remember watching the story of Bill Walsh. This shows you how insanely insecure these guys are. And Bill Walsh, the great 49ers coach, was revolutionary. Changed the NFL offenses, pre-salary cap era, by the way, and then bled into the salary cap era. And after he won his first Super Bowl, he was so insanely insecure, he thought he was going to get fired. He thought he was going to get fired after they won the Super Bowl, and he orchestrated 2 more Super Bowl wins with that. And then, of course, Seifert came in and won the 4th one. But all the coaches are insanely insecure. The quarterbacks are insanely insecure. And here's an illustration of it. And I think JJ's correct. He used the phrase, and I'm paraphrasing, people elevate themselves to a status that may not be entirely accurate. And I thought about this with Sean Payton and Rodgers. And in the annals of football, Rodgers is going to be far more remembered than Sean Payton.
Of course.
Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback all time. I mean, there's no argument, right?
Of course.
But it just goes to show you how these guys, they can't process, their insecurities correctly. One thing that Colin Cowherd says that I agree with that's hurt the Packers organization is they don't have ownership structure. So it's a bit chaotic. But you know what's going to happen?
Nope.
They're going to go from Favre to Rodgers. They're going to blow it this year and get Caleb Williams. And they're going to go through 4 decades of some of the best quarterback play ever. That's what's going to happen,
I got an interesting thought on
Arizona
Caleb
Cardinals
Williams
tank and get Caleb Williams.
Yeah, well, we'll see on Caleb.
Anyway,
I'm not as sold as everybody else is. All right, man. No, I appreciate you.
Really enjoyed last week. Thank you for letting me be part of it. And
good to see you.
You guys have a great day.
I got another thought on Caleb. We was having this conversation on Caleb Williams the other day. Caleb Williams is the quarterback at USC, the Heisman Trophy winner, Heisman Trophy front runner, I think, going into the season, right? Did you see his comments the other day on the Cotton Bowl? Why they lost? It was at Media Day, and he said the reason we got beat by Tulane, we just didn't want to be there. And I'm like, really? And it just took me aback. So I'm going to guess if you ask, what percentage of college football players today, if you ask, hey, you're playing in the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, whenever the Cotton Bowl was played, 95, 97% would be stoked?
It's classic. Oh, we're better than this. We should be in the college football. But you're not, because you're not there, dude.
Yeah. And the leadership,
come out like that.
It makes me just question leadership there.
Was it, were they the Sun Bowl team?
What's that?
Was it Lane? I'm trying to think. Was it a team with Lane Kiffin?
Oh, yeah. When they went down to the Sun Bowl and got kicked too. I think it was a Lane Kiffin team. Yeah. Yeah. When they went down to the Sun Bowl and just flat out didn't want to be there. When USC went down to the Sun Bowl, it got beat by, I want to say TCU. I'm pretty sure it was TCU. And there's been a lot of SC teams who are just bigger than the bowls in which they're in. And you know what? You're not. But I was taken aback by it because I'm thinking, who are you to be bigger than, you think you're bigger than the Cotton Bowl? Well, you're the Heisman Trophy winner, and that comes from the leader, don't you think? If the quarterback, the guy who just got back from New York, the guy who's the Heisman Trophy winner, is fired up to be there, then I think his team takes the lead and wants to be there and goes out. And look, they played a good Tulane team. I get it. Tulane wasn't the name. Tulane came out of the American. Tulane was the group of 5 representative. Tulane wasn't good enough to be on the field with them, and they beat them. Tulane earned that game, dude. And good for Tulane. And I'm not gonna say kick their ass, but they beat them. It was a good game, right? Was it like 42-39?
Yeah, back and forth.
But I'm thinking of one of the most classic, iconic brands in college football, right? The Cotton Bowl. Mm-hmm. And somehow we don't want to be there. We're too good for that. And so I wonder how that plays. And I was on a call the other day, yesterday actually, and we were talking about this. And I don't know, am I just too sensitive? Do I hear that because I am in the bowl business and I run a bowl game? Or does that something that resonates, does that go into the character conversation when evaluating the young man?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not with the NFL. Like, if you want to blast him for that and the way his team showed up and what happened, yes. Because be a competitor, man. Nothing is below you. But when it comes to him stepping on an NFL field, that's not going to be the reason I wouldn't select him to quarterback my team.
All right. Does it go into the leadership conversation? Does it go into any of that? But yeah, that came up on a call the other day, and it's like, did you hear what Caleb Williams said? And granted, I mean, it hits closer to home from my perspective.
The people on that call.
No, I understand. That's why I'm asking you this. Yeah. That's why I'm asking to bring another perspective to it. I get it. I get caught up in my own bubble on that. I mean, I don't know. What did you hear when you heard that?
Yeah, I had the same reaction. That is not a leadership move, and I kind of personally do think it plays into the character conversation because if you want to lead an NFL team, you should be able to lead a college team too. So I have a real problem with him saying that they just didn't want to be there.
I don't know. We're only going to Detroit in September, whatever. We don't want to be here.
No, that's unacceptable.
It's something, isn't it?
If I'm a GM, I'm taking notes on that and pretty much everything he says moving forward.
To JJ's point, if the guy goes out and throws up the year that everybody expects him to have, it's going to be hard not to take him number 1 if you're Arizona, if you're Green Bay, if you're whoever you are that's going to have that first pick, right? It's going to be really hard.
A comment about the Sugar Bowl,
Cotton
Bowl, excuse me. I was thinking of Utah and Alabama in the back.
Yeah, but no, it's the same concept. Back when Utah beat Alabama back in the day, and we didn't want to beat it. Yeah,
like I'll note it, but tell me a year and a half from now they can't be something you can look back on and go, I'm better now. And
no, you're right.
I'm a leader in the locker room. And
you're right. It's just something. I don't know. It just made me, because I thought he was, the guy's pretty good, and he spoke well at the Heisman Trophy, but I always thought it was good. All right, we can continue on this. Is Sean Payton elite? Has he earned the status that has been bestowed? It's kind of been bestowed upon him, right? I mean, I don't know. Is he an elite coach? How many elite coaches do you think there are in the NFL? I'm going to tell you, I think there's 2. Belichick and Andy Reid. You got an argument? There's other good ones. I'll give you a bunch of other good ones, but there's only 2. Would you say Tomlin? If you want to argue Tomlin with me, I'll listen to you.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls and.
But tell me why I'm wrong, and tell me why Sean Payton has elevated himself to that status. Right? I spilled coffee all over these We'll
get you some new ones.
Yeah, it's sorry about that. All right, Peyton Manning visited a young quarterback yesterday, a young quarterback who is really trying to make it. The impression, and why did he go see a guy that might be one of your favorites? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Feel better about it. Asking you the question, does Sean Payton deserve the status as which he's got in the NFL? He's good. How many elite coaches are there in the NFL? I would tell you 2, maybe 3. If you want to tell me Tomlin, I'm listening. Belichick and Reed. There's other really good coaches. And just because you win a Super Bowl doesn't make you elite. Does Sean McVay have the status that Sean Payton has? Sean McVay won a Super Bowl more recently than Sean Payton. He did it quicker, I believe, than Sean Payton. Does Sean McVay have the status? Does Doug Peterson, who also has won a Super Bowl recently, have the perceived NFL status that your guy, the head coach of the Broncos, I say your guy because, well, it's your team. But can they get away with what he just got away with?
I think actually the majority of
coaches could get away
NFL coaches
Yep.
can do something like that.
That's right.
I do think that
because there's no consequence. What's
Yeah.
the consequence? Somebody's
It's
going to rip it to you?
Yeah, you got to be ready for
That's right.
back and forth battle, which is fine. If that's the game you want to play. It's just like, I tell my kid all the time, don't do something you don't want someone doing back to you. This is like where it is with Sean Payton, and Nathaniel Hackett was down that road of, there's a code in glass houses, but it's out there now. But for Sean Payton, I do think there's an elevated sense of his worth because he was the guy that won a Super Bowl and was on the market. And it cost a first-round pick for the Denver Broncos to hire Sean Payton. And I'm with, I think he's good, but
he's
elite.
good.
Oh man, we need to save that phrase, or when someone says superstar or elite. Like, no, that category should be small, and I don't think Sean Payton's elite.
I don't either.
Question: let me ask it this way: How would you define an elite coach?
How do you define an elite quarterback? I mean, elite would be, to me, there's very few who are in his category. He is better than the rest. Patrick Mahomes is elite to me. Right? It's somebody who is performed at a level that beyond most, like good is beyond most, elite is beyond just about everybody else.
So when you're talking about coaching, like coaching trees, does that play into it? Who they produce that's out there, or?
I imagine. I mean, if we were going to sit down and have a formula and actually do this formally, I imagine. Like, why? Who are you thinking?
Well, when I put those factors together, I do not think Peyton's elite because Dan Campbell's about the only guy that's out there on his tree that's really doing things.
Well, I just look back at it. Here, who are elite coaches to me in the history of the game? Bill Walsh, Vince Lombardi, Chuck Noll, Tom Landry. Guys who have won multiple championships, right? Don Shula is elite, right? There's been a bunch of really good coaches.
I think of the coaches in the NFL, if you start putting the young ones in there,
might be some
that
that
are
become
really, been on fire, like Zach Taylor, with what he's been able to do with Joe Burrow. I think those guys are definitely climbing up the ladder. And I think if you want to say, then kind of Bill Belichick, Andy Reid,
no, that's it.
Maybe the elite,
maybe Tomlin,
and then I think you have Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Pete Carroll,
okay,
and Sean Payton. With you look at him being 9
I'll put Sean Payton in that group.
9-8 in the playoffs,
yeah,
631 winning percentage,
yeah,
like that. The 631 winning percentage, like of coaches that have the tenure,
yeah,
it is.
I'll put him in that
top
really good
three.
Yeah, no. Look, I'll put him in that really good group.
Yeah, there's guys that have better winning percentage, but it's much shorter windows, like LaFleur and things like that.
Tony, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, gentlemen. So, is it coaching or is it players? Because is Andy Reid still going to be considered an elite coach without Patty Mahomes?
Well, I think he's partially considered an elite coach for what he did in Philadelphia, even though he didn't win a championship there, right? And so Patty Mahomes got him over the top.
Philadelphia, sir.
Well, he got to championship, a couple championship games. But you're right. He didn't get over the top without Patrick Mahomes. No, you're 100% right.
He got to the dance, but he didn't get invited in, right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's basically it.
It's players.
So Belichick. We're all seeing what Belichick is without Edwards, boy.
Yep.
I mean,
but his roster's
Belichick hasn't even sniffed the playoffs.
Yeah, his whole roster's bad. I agree with you. It's players.
You know, so, I mean, that right there. And then, as much as I love Edwards, man, is Aaron Rodgers really a top 5 quarterback of all time?
We'll have that conversation when we come back.
Appreciate I mean, because, I got Montana, Brady, Peyton Manning.
Marino.
And then that.
Elway.
Elway, Favre.
Yeah. He's better than Favre. He's better than Favre.
Ben?
He's better than Favre. He's better than Ben. Although Ben won too. All right, I'm gonna have that conversation. I got to take the break. I'm at the music. Good to hear you.
All righty, guys.
Later. Is Aaron Rodgers top 5 all time? And his point is 100% right. There has never been a good coach without great players. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit.
OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
All right. Brady, Manning, Marino, Elway, Joe Montana, Breeze, Kelly, Young, Staubach, Ben, Fouts. I don't know. Is it a no-brainer? I don't think it is. There was sometimes Edwards says stuff, and I just kind of what? And sometimes I catch him on his stuff. Edwards, a caller, he called in the first hour and said, made a statement. Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 all-time quarterback. Is he? I mean, everybody's got a list, so I'm not going to tell you any list is better than anybody else's list. I think my list starts at Brady and Montana. Does yours?
Yes.
Does yours?
I think that's the default. Like, it has to.
I mean, how can it not?
Everyone,
All right. So, Peyton Manning better than Aaron Rodgers? My answer is yes.
Yes.
Yours?
Peyton Manning better than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I got Athlon's list in front of me, if that list means anything to you. But to me, I think he is.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. This is a tough one. They won the same amount of Super Bowls, and this guy's the all-time leading passer. I mean, yards. Drew Brees better than Aaron Rodgers?
No. I think there I'm taking the talent of Aaron Rodgers over Drew Brees.
I might go your way on this. Were you Brees or Rodgers? All-time career.
Brees was doing things in the air before.
I know. That was close.
That really is. That's an interesting one. I'd probably lean towards Rodgers, but I can hear a case for Brees for sure.
Elway.
I love Elway. I'd take him over Rodgers for sure.
Elway. So all three of us are on Elway. So that's at least 4 that are better than him. Favre?
Rodgers.
Wow, that's a tough one.
I think I go Rodgers too over Favre. I think I do.
I think I would hold off until I see what he does with the Jets, because Favre was able to make a run with Vikings and Jets. So I kind of lean towards Favre at the moment.
All right. And I'm going to go see, we're leaving out guys that we never saw, right? How much Johnny Unitas, Fran Tarkenton, Sammy Baugh, Bart Starr did you see? Right? Roger Staubach, for that matter.
Yeah,
so it's really hard for us to sit here and do this, right? Marino didn't win a championship. So does that just disqualify him? Rodgers won 1. I think Marino was. I'm old enough to watch Marino. Marino was unbelievable. Like, Marino's one of my top. I think he was better than Rodgers. If you guys didn't see enough,
you want to talk about doing something before anyone else,
yeah. Well, but he did it really well.
Yeah,
too.
Dan Marino.
He did it really well. Yeah.
What he did in the passing game, those offenses.
Steve Young. Steve Young's forgotten when we have these conversations.
He really is.
Dude, he was so good. He spent 3 years backing up Montana. He spent 2 years in the USFL with the LA Express playing at Pierce College. He spent 2 years with the Buccaneers. And he still went down and had 3 Super Bowl rings. What do you think about that? It's basically 3 years with Tampa, 3 years backing up Montana, and 2 years in the USFL. That's 8 years, dude. And he still won 3. Steve Young was damn good. I mean, it's not a no-brainer that Rodgers is top 10, and he might even be top 7. It's hard for me to say top 5. I will tell you straight up, I would put in front of him, obviously, Brady and Montana. I would put Manning and Elway. I would put Marino, maybe Breeze. You know, a guy that I love, but probably I'd have to put below him is I love Dan Fouts. I like Dan Fouts.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go down if
what about Ben?
He has a couple good more years, but no Super Bowl wins with the Jets at the very end.
Yep.
I think Aaron Rodgers could be the most disappointing quarterback in NFL history.
Ooh, instead of best, most disappointing. That's actually really well. Favre
because the reason he's in these conversations is he is uber talented.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Rodgers, when it came to just straight talent at the position, the athleticism, the throws, like he was that dude. Even in the league with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, like Aaron Rodgers had the edge over them with just the athleticism and things he was doing, and then to sit here and be looking at one championship, that is very
Is that
disappointing.
why we put him ahead of Jim Kelly? Because Kelly lost 4? Never won one? I mean, yeah, the championship thing.
And it does, when you start just thinking about like a Jim Kelly, or I've been going back to Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and I'm like, hold up. Like, Sean Payton was better in New Orleans than Andy Reid was in Philadelphia. But then Andy Reid
because he won once.
Patrick Mahomes. No, even overall.
Yeah. Okay.
Just winning percentage.
Yeah.
And if you give Sean Payton, Patrick Mahomes is going to do the exact same thing.
You're probably right. No, that's a totally fair conversation. Totally fair. Adolph, you're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Adolph.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I have a few thoughts here regarding Sean Payton. And I'll start out by saying, just because you have the opportunity to make a bona fide criticism of an industry colleague, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should make that critical statement. And thinking about this, the reasons that I've come up with, one, you need to concentrate. Sean needs to concentrate on the task at hand, his task, which is basically making the Denver Broncos better.
Yep.
The second reason is you don't want to provide locker room bulletin board material, for the opposition. And additionally, in the future, Sean Payton could find himself in the same position as the person that he's, calling out, Nathaniel Hackett.
Yep.
And the fourth reason, historically, you don't find your great coaches like Wooden, Lombardi, Chuck Noll, Coach K, Tom Landry, etc. They don't engage in this kind of dribble, okay? They don't, because their main thing is getting to work, okay? Get the job done. When Chuck Noll took over for the Steelers, that team was 1-13, and he even told the players, the current players, that he was going to cut about 75% of them. But he didn't criticize the former coach, even though that previous year they were 1-13 on a 14-game season. So again, Sean Payton just needs to get to work. Don't worry about what Nathaniel Hackett left you. Improve it. Get to work. I'm out.
Good call. Oh, it's really good. Just because you can doesn't mean you shouldn't. That's really good. Edward just sent me his top 5 ever. Brady, Montana, Elway, Manning, Rodgers, Unitas, Favre. By the way, and he's right, Mahomes is going to jump into this thing by the time he's done, up near the top. Text line, Jeff, your LA Rams bias is, in capital letters, disgusting. You've got to at least mention Kyle Shanahan in the good coach category. Strong argument to put him with Reed. What's the difference between Philadelphia Reed and Kyle Shanahan today? Omission. Look, by the way, I don't think I did a full list of good coaches. If I left out Kyle Shanahan, which I did, my apologies. Yeah, I think he's on there. Doug Peterson's on there with the good coaches, right? Where would you put your guy in Dallas, McCarthy? He's won a Super Bowl, didn't he?
He did. Middle of the pack.
So you put him below Shanahan, McVay, Peterson, all these other coaches?
Yes.
Okay. It's amazing perception, right? JJ, do you have, by any chance, McCarthy's numbers versus Payton's numbers? Because one guy is considered really good and one guy is considered really lucky. And McCarthy, and I'm going to tell you, I firmly believe this goes into aesthetics. One guy is relatively good looking, was in shape, more well spoken. The other guy was heavy set, not in shape, not as well spoken. Are the numbers similar?
Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton are the same football coach. Like, there's that group of NFL head coaches.
Yeah.
And that have been there, done that are all really good. And Mike McCarthy is one of those coaches. Career record.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, 155-97. 614 right there.
614?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean Payton, 152-89. So 6-3-1, 20%.
That's really close, man.
So
that's
Mike McCarthy,
that
11-10 in the postseason. Sean Payton, 9-8.
What's 8 minus 3? So it's a 5.5 game difference. Both McCarthy in the postseason, what'd you say?
11-10.
And the other one's 9-8?
Another one's 9-8.
They're the same dude. They both won one Super Bowl. They both had a great quarterback.
You know what
one guy's well spoken and relatively better looking. The other guy's overweight, kind of dumpy, isn't as well spoken, and one's considered a great coach and one's considered a bum by a lot of people. I mean, it's amazing. So thank you for that, because in JJ's words, and he's not wrong, they're the same coach. But are they? They're the same coach by numbers, but are they the same coach? Right? Do they get the same out of their team? That's fascinating to me right there.
I think with Peyton, he does have that cool factor going on. He was in New Orleans. They had all the free Peyton gear. Like,
right.
He's like the dude.
Well, and look, let's be very clear. The way they won, like if you could take all kinds of they're not all created equally, right? I mean, the Rams winning the Super Bowl isn't the same as the Chiefs winning their first, or very few of them meant to the community what that Super Bowl win meant to New Orleans right after Katrina, right? The city was beat up by that hurricane. They got a coach who wanted to be there. They got a quarterback who resurrected his career and embraced that place and loved on it. And it became just a city story, not just a football team story. That was special. And he was at the charge, and he was young and good looking and well-spoken. But JJ, their numbers are the same. And if we do this 22 weeks from now after this season, after the Cowboys season and the Broncos season, the numbers are going to probably slant towards McCarthy, right?
Yes, they will.
Well, you got better players. Okay. Yeah. That's fascinating, though, the perception on that. So, yeah, to the texter, my bad on eliminating as much as you're right. I mean, I don't love the Niners, but I think Kyle Shanahan's terrific. I have mad respect for Montana and Walsh and Rice and that group back in the day, and mad respect for what John Lynch has put together up in San Francisco and Kyle Shanahan is doing, and doing it with quarterbacks that were the last pick in the draft. No, mad respect for what the Niners have done. I think that organization is incredible. Where do you guys put Kyle Shanahan? I mean, is he in that next year? If you're going to say elite would be Belichick and Reed, then the next group would be Peterson and I mean, you got to waiver Tomlin, put Tomlin whichever one you want. Is Kyle Shanahan in that group?
Absolutely, because it's one where you can't just go, oh, he's just done it longer, so he has more wins. It's what are they doing right now? What has Kyle Shanahan done with that team? And it puts him ahead of a Sean Payton, of a Mike McCarthy.
Do you think Kyle Shanahan's a better coach than
now than those guys? Yes.
Okay.
Like, do they have the experience and the resume? Absolutely. But what they built in San Francisco, their roster management by John Lynch has been fantastic. But the team management from Kyle Shanahan has been even better than that.
All right. You can continue this conversation. It's really good. 505-246-0610 here on the Sports Animal. We're your home for the National Football League. We'll have your Thursday night games and your Sunday games and your Sunday night games and your Monday night games. And we are the Sports NFL. And we're here for you. So make sure you're I know you will be. All NFL season. We get the Hall of Fame game. Is it really Thursday this week?
Tomorrow.
What day is today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
So we have NFL football tomorrow?
Yes, we
do. The Jets and the Browns tomorrow?
True.
Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson going at it head-to-head to the not really like that, though.
And the first place you can break it all down is right here.
Right here. On the Sports NFL.
Every drive, every snap.
I'm
every breakdown of Aaron Rodgers with his hands in his pocket, watching Zach Wilson.
Did he make eye contact? Did he not? All right, when we come back, look, if you're in it, don't bet on it. You're going to get caught. And by the way, don't use mommy and daddy's account either. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
simple. If you're in the sport, don't bet on the sport. NFL, college, if you are in it, don't bet on it. And it is not your right to bet just because everybody else can bet and it's legal in wherever it's legal. Okay? Iowa State's got a problem. And more so, their quarterback has a problem. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on The Sports Animal this morning. 505-246-0610 is how to get in. That is the Sports Animal phone line and the text line. So Iowa State's quarterback is a guy named Hunter Deckers. He started all 12 games for Iowa State last year as a redshirt sophomore. He is accused of placing bets that violate state laws and NCAA and university rules. And there's a criminal complaint involving a misdemeanor charge of tampering with records against him now. So prosecutors in this county where Iowa State is located cited subpoenaed phone records in alleging that Deckers placed 26 wagers on Iowa State sporting events, including one on a 2021 game of Iowa State football against Oklahoma State. Now, at the time, Deckers was a backup to Brock Purdy. He didn't play in that game. But you cannot bet on game. I mean, he suited up. He obviously, you see the issue here, right? The criminal complaint, he was accused of breaking Iowa law by placing approximately 297 of his 366 total wagers over the past 2 years while he was under 21. Also, I mean, there's an age limit on this. He used a false profile on DraftKings, used his mom's name to avoid detection. How many red flags you see here? He was under 21. He bet on Iowa State sports. He's bet on Iowa State football. He was using a false account. I mean, I don't know. Do you see any red flags here?
Quite a bit.
The biggest one I see is the connection to the Broncos, because their defensive tackle.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in the same probe.
Yep. That is, he will, and I'm struggling with the name.
Uwazurike.
Yeah, I was trying to do his first name.
Ioma.
Is that what it is? Ioma? That's way too easy. All right, Uwazurike. They're subjects of complaints filed Tuesday. They used information there gathered in the same probe, charged them with tampering with records. Uwazurike and a wrestler out there are identified in this lawsuit. Uwazurike is accused in the complaint of placing bets on games involving his Broncos last year, as well as on Cyclones games in 2021, and he was suspended by the NFL indefinitely last week. All right, so we're talking about 366 bets, which totaled like $2,800. We're not talking about huge bets, and so people say, well, it's not a big deal, but it is. But it is. 2,800 divided by 366, he's betting like $765 a game, or a bet. Like under $8 a wager, but that's not the point. So there's a firm that's representing him. Can I tell you the defense on this? The law firm that is defending the quarterback on last night said that the Cyclones quarterback, their guy, told the coaches that he can't participate in training camp, and quote, "This charge attempts to criminalize a daily fact of American life. Millions of people share online accounts of all kinds every day. Thousands and thousands of college athletes place bets, usually very small ones, with shared accounts. That is for the schools and the NCAA to police," end quote. Evidently, the father and the mother were implicit, and they are accused in the criminal complaint of having engaged in the scheme. Evidently, they were, here, use our account, you can bet. All right, is he being... Are we criminalizing a daily fact of American life here?
Identity fraud?
An underage athlete betting on his own team. Can't do it.
No.
I mean...
There's no other side to this.
I just read you the other side.
That doesn't make... Well, my client, he can't... He's 16 and drinking, but it's America, and he can drink in America.
You're taking away his American right to drink.
His right to drink. It's like, no, there's no other side to this. It's wild that anyone thought it would be okay to help him do this. And there's a reason that fans love sport. There's plenty of people out there that love gambling and betting on games. And if you want to keep doing that, and if the leagues want to keep participating in that money, these players want money coming into their leagues that eventually go back into their pockets. You have to show that the games are not rigged. And these are the people that are going to go down because everyone's going to try to skirt the system.
Yeah, spare me the hypocrisy argument, by the way. Please? Like, the argument that, well, all these leagues are taking millions of dollars from these DraftKings and all these betting sites, and the players aren't getting it. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Why do you think, I mean, that's not the only reason, but it all goes into the pool. Why do you think these salaries are so big? What about college athletes? Now there's NIL and they're getting paid. So please spare me the hypocrisy argument. Well, they're getting all this money, but they won't let the players bet. There is no argument to be made that you can somehow keep the integrity of these games and allow people who are directly associated with these games to bet. There's none. And if you feel that sports needs integrity, that it otherwise it becomes professional wrestling, and God bless you if you love it. But if you want to turn on a game, and I don't care if it's Ball State versus Kent State or the Chiefs versus the Patriots or the Dodgers versus the Padres or the Lakers versus the Celtics. But if you want to turn on a game and feel like I think we always have, that the outcome is truly undecided when they start the game, that this is true competition, then there is no argument to be made that people who are directly associated with the outcome of that game, that means anybody on the team, coaches, referees, should be able to bet on those games. I mean, I've heard them. They don't hold. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. Please hit me.
This is one. There's no hypocrisy in it. You can't do it. There's still rules in sport. Despite everyone wanting to think that there shouldn't be rules in sport, well, you should be able to do whatever the heck you want. As a student athlete, as a professional athlete, who cares anymore? No, there are things you can't do because that directly affects the game. And this isn't them not explaining it. This isn't, there's not enough signs in the facility, or there's not enough meetings to tell these guys not to do it. This is pretty much common sense. Because if you're doing stuff like this, you're trying to take advantage of an edge you believe you have over everyone else by being an insider.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Text line on the quarterbacks. Of course, Jeff is definitely biased for what he wants and what he sees, says 512. After all, Jeff dismissed San Francisco's Garoppolo as merely capable of losing games, discounted. Burrows as at all good when facing the Rams, as pointed out by JJ at the time. I don't even know what that means. When did I dismiss Garoppolo as merely capable of losing games? I've sat here and said how many times? All dude does is win. He's unspectacular. He wins. He's a good NFL quarterback. Jim Garoppolo. I don't know. All right, we got to get into this Pac-12 stuff. 505-246-0610. And how the Pac-12 could have been saved. We wouldn't be in this position if their former commissioner had just done this back in 2018. How this could have saved where they are right now. And where they are might be teetering on the edge of extinction. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And
Apple TV subscription. Do you have one? You're an SC alum, UCLA alum, Arizona. Well, maybe not Arizona very much longer. It's what the Pac-12 is looking to do. They're looking to go the majority streaming, telling schools, all right, here's the deal. $20 million basically is your deal up front. And then you need to go out and sell subscriptions. And the more subscriptions you sell, then there's more money. And so this will be great. And I know you're getting $32 million now, but the 20 will be great. And oh, by the way, the teams of the Big 12 get 31. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. So how are they going to keep that thing together? Pac-12's Commissioner George Kliavkoff presented those details for a potential media rights deal to the leaders from the institutions of the Pac-12 yesterday. They did not reach an agreement. It was streaming-centric, mostly through Apple, and would incentivize tiers with an upside if certain subscription numbers are met. Not a lot of linear, although some. And the initial thought is Arizona might be out by Friday, that Utah might be out by Friday, that Oregon and Washington are dying to get out. When you heard all this, and I kind of read these to you yesterday, everything we saw yesterday on that Twitter, I'm sorry, that X, kind of came to fruition, right? As you listened to the feedback yesterday, what did you think? Where do you think this is going?
It's interesting how the power is shifting. We all thought it was Oregon and Washington.
Right.
Well, they are the schools that are holding it together, but it could be Arizona, Arizona State, Utah that make the decision to move to the Big 12, which
would become
crumbles
16.
The Pac-12, because then Oregon and Washington, I'm sure, would just be blowing up the Big 10 and saying, all right, we'll come in, we'll make this work out. So you have your 4 West Coast schools. Let's get it to work. And although everyone is asking the question, like, when does it get too big? When does it start hurting you? When you're
as far as the size of a conference, the amount of teams,
and the Big 12, you keep adding teams. Well,
because they're at 16 with SC and UCLA now, right?
Yeah. Well, for the Big 10, even the Big 12 moving forward, all right, you can keep acquiring assets, but at what point does it start to take too much off your media deal when you start spreading out that money?
So one of the biggest issues for the Pac-12 has been their network, right? The SEC network has taken off. It's generated a lot of revenue. I don't know that a lot of people realize the SEC network is run by ESPN. The ACC network has stabilized, at least had stabilized for a while, the Atlantic Coast Conference. I don't know that a lot of people realize the ACC network is run by ESPN as well. Now, the Big Ten network is run independently outside of ESPN.
Oh, it is.
It's not an ESPN property, but they got distribution. They figured it out. The Pac-12 network never got full distribution. They never got on DirecTV. They never got on a lot of cable companies across America. Back in 2018, Burke Magnus and Justin Connolly of ESPN went out and met with then Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott. There was an offer that could have, I think, saved the Pac-12 even up to today. Because at the time, the Pac-12 was under threat of losing more schools. And Scott took the offer, and this is where I've heard differing stories on this. Took the offer to the CEOs of the Pac-12. I heard Larry Scott at the time, the former commissioner, flat out, and I've been told this by a number of people, he's the one who coerced them, suggested that they stay on their own. But there was an extension of the media rights that would have gone, JJ, a deal that would have gone through the mid-2030s with ESPN. right? Now, would it have been outdated? Would it have been underpaying? I don't know. The last one was $35 million per team, and now the new one's $20 million per team. I don't know. At the time, the media rights in 2018, they were all getting $34 million a year. If you extended that, add a little to that, would that be antiquated? It wouldn't be, would it?
No, not now.
Right? So it would have ran their media rights through 2030 by tacking an additional decade onto the terms. ESPN would have taken control of distribution for the conference-owned networks. At that point, the Pac-12 networks and all the way through had underperformed financially. The Pac-12 would have surrendered some of their control of the network to ESPN, but they'd have benefited in countless ways. They'd have had linear presence on ESPN, and the Pac-12 network would have been available just like the SEC network, the ACC network is available, the Big Ten network is. Like if you have DirecTV, it's up in the 610, 611, 612s, right? The university presidents ultimately said no because they figured they were getting a huge payday in the next deal because there were going to be new bidders in the marketplace. Apple, CW. I don't know. How's that looking now? And by the accounts that I've heard, yes, Larry Scott works for the CEOs, the presidents of the league. But, I mean, what would have happened? Don't you think this would have been a whole different conversation? If the Pac-12 extended their media rights through 2030, they were on ESPN Linear, and the Pac-12 network was available basically everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be a different revenue stream
whole
for the conference, and we wouldn't be in this situation. Now, would there still be movement? Yes. Who would have thought Texas and Oklahoma?
Yeah,
would have made their jump. Would someone try to lure still USC or UCLA
with more
away?
money?
Yeah, but I think the Pac-12 wouldn't be in this position where
that they may crumble.
They're crumbling, and it's always been the other conferences. It's you took the best team from the Mountain West. You took the best team from the American Athletic Conference. How are they going to survive? Well, they're finding the group of 5 conferences.
Everybody's fine.
Are finding their way.
And you got more team. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. But go ahead and finish that first thought.
And yet here we are with a power conference, and they have the most uncertain future of any conference.
Yeah. This is a good point Ryan just sent me. With Texas moving to the SEC now, ESPN's going to save a bunch of money on the Longhorn Network. They were putting a lot of money into the Longhorn Network, and that's getting rolled into. That's going away because they're joining
that
the
was
SEC.
A swing and a miss.
The Longhorn Network.
An individual.
Yeah, that's right.
TV network for
and that was an ESPN entity
one
as
university.
Well.
And here's the thing too: is it time for the Mountain West to get a win? Because they've made the right choices, but a lot of times it's just been too soon.
What does that mean to get a win?
Like to come out on top and actually be maybe CBS Sports, Fox Sports, because I think it's 2 years left on that media deal with the
They
Mountain
bind
West.
together and bring in Washington State.
Maybe
Oregon
they do
State.
something and create a larger conference, bump up the media rights deal for a conference that they were the initial kind of super league that it got too big, but it was too soon when they had 16 teams. And then the WAC, the Mountain West splits off, and you launch University, Utah, TCU, BYU. The Mountain West has made the right decision. The Mountain West Network was just a little too soon to have constant.
It was ahead of its time because everybody else is doing it now. The Mountain West Network, if you
they've
go
done
back,
the right things. It's just been almost too soon
Yeah.
and haven't been able to hold on to that longevity. And it feels like, it's time for the Mountain West to come out ahead.
I mean, in a fair world, right?
It's time.
Yeah, in a fair world, in a where everything was equal. Yeah, I'm not sure we live in one of those. I saw Ray Birmingham tweet the other day. In life, nothing is fair except for a baseball hit between the two lines.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, nothing
Yes.
else is fair. Right? And so you're right. All right. We're going to go to the phones at 505-246-0610. I know you've got thoughts on this. That's the Sports Animals phone line and text line. Also, when we come back, JJ just brought up something, and I don't know if he even knows he brought this up, but what realignment is meant for the group of 5 and the opportunities that have been there for a group of 5 teams like, I don't know, maybe like New Mexico, and how they can maybe take advantage. And could they be the next Boise State, Coastal Carolina, Pick your program that's up their profile. Even Central Florida. You got an alarm at your business. You got an alarm at home. You got security cameras. You got it all. And you know what? It's not enough. You need IPS. Don't wait to be a victim of vandalism and theft. I called IPS years ago. They patrol my home on a daily basis. Every day I see Officer Crespin come around when I'm pulling weeds out front or doing some yard work. Talk to him. My neighbors have now called IPS. They use IPS to watch their home. They keep the bad guys away. IPS offers standing guards and 24-hour patrols. They protect your home. They protect your business. They respond quickly to alarms when they go off and prevent loss and damage to your property. Alarms go off. They're there within 5 to 7 minutes with armed, trained security officers. You understand that there's a police shortage at the police departments. They get there, I don't know, a couple hours later. It's just too late. Call IPS, 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or visit them online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
And DC is going to come up with 4 questions or NFL points, and we'll debate it, and we'll do that at 9 o'clock. We'll move that around every day. And then at 9:30, we'll continue our Mountain West Conference preview. So, DC, there was a room full of student athletes. Every team brought 2. There was one dude, you look at the list, who's coming, and a young man named Thor Paglialong, offensive lineman from Air Force. And if I just said, all right, go in that room and pick out the dude named Thor, like...
You could do it.
100 out of 100 people would have picked out the dude named Thor.
I love that.
And Thor loves to hit people. Like his face, you're going to really enjoy this conversation because have you seen anybody smile as much every time I just get to hit people?
He's very excited about hitting people. And there's only 2 positions in football that you could play if your name is Thor. It's the offensive or defensive line. Maybe linebacker. But like, if your name is Thor, like you're just built.
And he is perfect
in the
for it,
trenches.
dude. He is Thor. He looks like an action figure. He does. He looks like a movie star, action figure hero. He is and a lineman at Air Force, right? I mean, they run that offense and the complexities. We talked to him a lot about being a cadet athlete, why you choose that lifestyle and all that, so that you'll enjoy that. That's coming up at 9:30. Hey, I want to hit on this real quick. You said the Mountain West is due for a break or for a win. And you brought up a point that I had not thought of. You know, you talk about when Utah and TCU moved up, and Fresno State, San Diego State, Boise State was already in the process of it, increasing their profile. And I think around the country of schools who have increased their profile, I think of what Central Florida did when the Big East broke up, and even South Florida for a minute. I think of what Coastal Carolina has done, right? There's been athletic programs around America, Colorado State to some extent. UT San Antonio, dude. UT San Antonio didn't have a football program 20 years ago. Now they're coveted by, dare I say, a power league, right? There's an opportunity in this realignment as things go for New Mexico or anybody else, don't you think, to completely change their image and their future?
And this isn't just, hey, we're in the Mountain West footprint, we follow Mountain West school. like I think there are legitimate paths with how this plays out. The Mountain West coming out on top. It's still long shot, but it's there.
We'll watch as it goes. All right, when we come back, our inaugural edition of In the Red Zone, talk some the biggest, hottest NFL issues of the day and tell you what we think about them. Like, what about Cooper Kupp's injury? And which first-year quarterback's got the best chance to get to the playoffs? Is that kind of what we're looking at? Am I supposed to tease it that way? I don't even know. But that's what we're going to do next. On the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, let's get started with something that we're going to do on a regular basis. Now, I think regular meaning daily. In NFL's here, it's NFL's always here. We are the Sports NFL. Maybe we should just become, hey, KNFL.
I like those call it.
You think that's taken? I mean, it's just changing one little letter. The Sports NFL. You don't like it?
I kind of do, actually. It rolls off very nicely.
I mean, I don't know. I've been just listening to some stuff and thinking, the Sports NFL. Anyway, we're going to do something every day, and it's going to sound like this.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
So I believe
it's first and goal.
All right, so you ask us questions. Is this how this goes? First and goal?
That is right.
4 questions, four topics every day?
That is right.
All right.
So let's fire off first down. We've been talking a ton about quarterbacks, but we have not really talked about Mahomes. So is he already a top 10 quarterback of all time? And what would it take for him to be either top 5 or even the greatest of all time?
So it's subjective. I don't know who goes first, but I'll go first, and then he'll go first, and then I'll go first, and then he'll go first. If you're telling me, how do you rate top 10 quarterbacks? Who do I want in their prime to play a game tomorrow and win a game? Yes, he is top 10 all time. Yes. Is he number-wise top 10 of all time? Well, I mean, if you want to start talking about rings and everything, I'm going to say, if you're going to say Brady and Marino and Manning and Elway and Montana, would I put him above Young? I would. Would I? Yeah, I think he's top 10. I do. Yes. And what was the second part? What would make him top 5? Well, I think he's going to get there by the end. I think his numbers and his championships are going to get him to be top 5. Yeah.
I have never believed in a quarterback more than Patrick Mahomes. The only other one was Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, all day, every day, I'm taking him. Top 5 right now. I'm fine with that.
You're top 5 right now. Yeah, that's good.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
So Cooper Kupp looks to be out potentially with a hamstring. So the question is, can the Rams win without 100% Kupp, or will this be another down year in Los Angeles? And how will Stafford look without his all-pro wide receiver?
I do not think that they could approach 8-9 wins in Los Angeles without Cooper Kupp. Wide receivers are that important in today's game. Stafford, Kupp have a very special relationship. And Matthew Stafford, I think he'll just look like another dude right now without Cooper Kupp.
So I don't think they're going to have this issue. I think it's a hamstring issue that's going to keep him out. What is it, 4 weeks-ish? I think he's going to be back for week 1 or week 2. Now, hamstrings concern me because they linger. But I think that this happening early in camp, I don't think this injury is going to keep him out long term. So I don't think the initial question is the issue. Now, if you want to say how will Stafford look and how will the Rams be, I think the Rams are an 8-9 win team if they have a good season. I still think their defense should be good. They still have Aaron Donald, right? They're still pretty good. They still have Sean McVay calling plays. They should be okay. I think they struggle a bit, but I don't think the Cooper Kupp injury long term. Now it might be for the first couple of games, but I don't think they have that issue long term.
Third and goal.
So on Tuesday, the Bucs offensive coordinator was asked about the quarterback situation. He was asked basically, is there a competition brewing? And he basically said that Kyle Trask has really settled in, and what they saw over the last couple of practices has been showing him what he can do, and suggest that there could be a competition. So I ask you, is that legit or is that just preseason hype?
I think it's absolutely legit. I mean, absolutely legit, because why would you go in there and tell me that Baker Mayfield is won your starting job? What has Baker Mayfield done? I got Kyle Trask, who they picked in the second round 2 years ago, that hasn't gotten a chance yet. I don't know. I'm not sitting there and watching him, but I know that he's 6'5" and he's relatively mobile and he's got a big arm. And I know that Baker Mayfield is mobile, but he doesn't have a big arm and he's not 6'5". And I know what he's done over the last bunch of years. And what you get with him is a bunch of inconsistency. So yeah, I'm not ready to tell you that I think Kyle Trask is going to be their starting quarterback. But if you're going to tell me that there's an absolute competition there, and he might be, yeah, I'll buy it 100%.
This is leaving the door open, hoping somehow, some way, they found a diamond in the rough, and the young Kyle Trask has some upside that they can cash into. Because Baker Mayfield, been there, done that. We know who he is. We know what you're going to get out of him. The ceiling, yeah, he's hitting that for your team right now. They're hoping they found something in Trask.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right. There are 4 first-time starting quarterbacks currently projected to lead their squads. That's Texans, Colts, Panthers, and Packers. Which of these teams has the best year? Could one or more make the playoffs?
You throw Kyle Trask in there if he wins the job?
I suppose you have to, right?
Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. It's just the best roster of those teams. I do think that the experience of being in the NFL will have him a little bit ahead of those other guys. But number 2 for me, I'm keeping an eye on CJ Stroud and Houston Texans. They made a lot of good moves in the offseason. They've spent money the last 2 years. He was my QB1 in the draft. And in AFC South, you could pick off a couple of your games, stay right behind Jacksonville. You got yourself a chance.
So I didn't want to agree with you, but I'm going to, because this isn't a first-year guy. Because the model for quarterbacks used to be draft a quarterback and have him sit behind a veteran for a few years, let him get seasoned, let him get used to it, then put him in. Then it became, well, we got to play a guy right away because we're paying him. So we're kind of going back to the old school model on Jordan Love, right? Aaron Rodgers came up this way. I just told you how many years Steve Young sat before he played. So, I do agree with you on their roster. I think they upgraded their defense over the last bunch of years. They've been drafting defense. They've got a good running back in Aaron Jones. They've got, I think, up to 5 good receivers on the outside for Jordan Love, and they're giving him all the tools to succeed. I almost went Bryce Young, too, because I think their roster is not horrible. I love their running game. I actually really love what they did with Miles Sanders, and if they make him a 3-down back, I think they're going to be terrific. They got Adam Thielen to be a reliable guy. I think defensively they're decent, but I think the answer is absolutely Jordan Love, and don't be surprised if they win that division. I'll pick the Lions, but I think it's up for grabs. Everybody's overlooking the Vikings there, and everybody's absolutely overlooking the Bears, but the Vikings won, 13 games last year? Is that the number? Right? But don't it will not stun me if the Packers win that division.
Touchdown!
Oh, look at you. I like the music underneath. Like, we should always run music like Pharrell in the back. There's Scotty Pharrell in the back. All right, so we're going to do that every day. We're going to move it around different segments. Is that the deal?
And they stay there. And they stay there.
All right. You like that?
I do.
All right. All right. That was kind of cool. And you can respond to any of those. So DC is going to come up with 4 big topics out of the National Football League every day. And JJ and I will go through those in that format every day. I like the music. Now it seems so quiet in my ear. You know what I mean? It's like so quiet. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get a hold of the Sports Animal. It's the Sports Animal text line. It's the phone line as well. The home for the National Football League. All your Thursday night games and Sunday afternoon we'll have football, and Sunday night football and Monday night football right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports NFL.
The Jim Rome Show.
In the end, it really is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
or surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I mean, there couldn't be a guy, if you said, what does Thor look like? It was him. Big, strong, blonde. Right? He's Thor, offensive lineman at Air Force. What it's like to be a cadet athlete. What it's like to be a lineman in that triple option offense. What it's like and why did he go to the academy and why he likes hitting dudes so much. You're going to enjoy that conversation. That's coming up at 9:30 this morning. All right, CBS Sports does this. And look, I'm not big, and I know we've done a little bit of list thing today. We've run, who are your top 5 quarterbacks, whatever. But CBS Sports ranked the 133 FBS football teams this year, right?
Yes.
And again, whatever it's worth to you, man, it doesn't, it's preseason rankings. It's based on last year. It's based on, I don't even know who's doing it. But
they're college football writers.
Are they? Was it an accumulation or was it one?
It's the CBS Sports crew.
All right, so Jerry was in on this?
Like expectations of the season.
So you can beat up on Jerry a little bit when he gets in? All right. Chip Patterson wrote the story, but yeah, this was, okay, so there were ballots. Experts from CBS Sports and 24/7 Sports. And they balloted. They went in. So your top 25 are, just what you would think they are. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, LSU, Alabama. Everybody's loving on USC this year, huh? With Caleb Williams. Like, I grew up an SC fan, but I'm struggling rooting for him. Is that weird? I grew up going to USC games. I've told you the story. I grew up in the press box at USC.
Program?
I don't even know why. It's the weirdest feeling. I've told you the story. One of the reasons I got into this business.
Because the Aztecs aren't in the Pac-12 yet?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's almost Caleb Williams and them leaving the Pac-12. I don't know.
Yeah, I can understand that.
SC 6, Penn State 7, Florida State 8, Clemson 9, Washington 10. And then rounding out, it's Texas, Utah, Tennessee, Oregon, Notre Dame. And it goes on down. So what about Mountain West schools? You want me to start top or bottom?
I just think it was a really good comparison because the median opinion is like the Pac-12 is just leaps and bounds better. Like, how could you even have the audacity to say the Mountain West could come out on top?
Well, they've got 6 teams that are ranked higher.
Yeah, but and you look at those teams, though, 2 of them are gone. And
2 of them might be gone by tomorrow.
Yeah, in the moment, there's some having a good season. There's not been a lot of consistency per se, like an Oregon State. Be a top 25 program.
Well, but Oregon State, in their momentum, they've been trending up. They beat the living tar out of Florida in the Vegas Bowl. Now, granted, Florida had 29 guys who opted out or were ineligible. But that game was 35-3, and Florida kicked a damn field goal at the end of the game so they didn't get shut out, which was interesting. All right, well, here it is. So here are the 5 teams out of the Pac-12 for comparison. Boise State is the highest-ranked team in this poll in the Mountain West. They're ranked 39th. So there are 5 teams ranked ahead of them out of the Pac-12. USC at 6, Washington 10, Utah 12, Oregon 14, Oregon State 18, and UCLA 27. Now, if I told you Boise State was on the field against any of those teams, who do you like Boise State? And we haven't seen anybody yet. But who do you like Boise State against?
Week 1, we get Boise State at Washington.
Yeah, who are you taking?
Washington, I think they'll be a strong favorite.
Washington's going to be nice, dude. Washington's going to be nice. All right, here's your teams in the Mountain West. 39, Boise State. 52, Air Force. 66, Fresno State. 68, San Diego State. And now we're getting low. 88, Wyoming. 90, San Jose State. 104, Utah State. 110, UNLV. 120, Colorado State. 125, Hawaii. 127, New Mexico. And 131 out of 133, Nevada.
Yeah, the bottom, not good. We know that. Some work to do.
There's a lot of work to do. For whatever it's worth to you, UMass, who the Lobos will play, was picked to be the bottom team, 133, and then Louisiana Monroe at 132. The Aggies of New Mexico State are at 107. It's crazy that we're looking at 107 and say, wow, that's kind of respect for New Mexico State, right?
Well, it's a step forward. And if you're looking, what could happen, and even in these rankings, look at Arizona State, they're 62 and 73 in the rankings. But you attach them to Utah, and that could be a big move to the Big 12. So
how is Colorado at 85? With all due respect to Deion being there, They were 1-11 last year, and for them to be above, I mean, like who's below them? Virginia?
Well, you're also
Army. Well, yeah, I guess.
Guessing that.
I guess
the amount of transfers will change things for Colorado.
What do you? All right, Colorado was 1-11 last year. What's a good season for them? 4 wins. Is 4 wins good for them in Deion's first year with all those transfers?
I would say yes, but I don't think with the hype and when you turn over a roster like that, I think you're thinking of bowl game.
You're thinking a bowl game for them. That would be, well, obviously that'd be a really good season. Where are they getting those wins? Maybe if I picked 4 games, Colorado State, Arizona State, Stanford, and Arizona, they open up with TCU. Do TCU play the national championship game?
TCU have a new starting quarterback as well.
Okay, but the majority of their rosters
Their wide
are
receiver
intact.
1 is, and their starting running back are in the NFL.
Okay, but their line, I think they have 3 of their 5 linemen back. The majority of their defense is back, and they're deep, dude. I mean, okay, but you like Colorado? You give Colorado a puncher's chance in that game?
Yes.
I don't, but okay. I give them a puncher's chance against Nebraska. I give them. Would they be favored against Colorado State?
Probably.
That's going to be a really interesting pillow fight in some respects, right? Jay Norvell loves his quarterback. He's finally got a quarterback in. He finally got his guys in. Matt Mummy's got that offense. That'll be an interesting watch. It's an ESPN game. It'll be 8 o'clock our time on September 16th. I don't give him a chance at Oregon. I don't give him a chance against SC. I give him a chance against Arizona State and Stanford. I don't give him a chance at UCLA. I think Oregon State beats them. Give him a chance against Arizona. And they finish up on the road at Washington State and Utah. How do you see 6 wins on there?
Because you can't judge them as the team they were last year. You have no idea who Colorado's going to be.
No idea. None. All right. That's why, I mean, it's so random. So random to put them where they are. I think your point was right. Look, right now the Pac-12 as constructed rates out better than the Mountain West does.
But the teams that we're realistically talking about potentially being there to merge together in Oregon State, Washington State, Cal, Stanford, like those teams wouldn't, I think, just come in and just start wiping the floor with the Mountain West Conference.
But you're right, because we've watched it over the years.
And that's why in that scenario, it's not crazy just because those are Pac-12 schools that something like that couldn't work out if Utah, Arizona State say, yeah, we're out, we're going Big 12. And then Oregon and Washington are like, we're not hanging around for this. We'll go take whatever share we can and then work on it from the Big 10.
Ryan says it's arguable that TCU played the national championship game. Fair enough. They were present for the national championship game. They were on the field. They got beat 65-7, right? Was that the number? It was 65-7, wasn't it?
Enjoyed the national anthem and running out of the tunnel, and that was about the last thing that was enjoyable for them.
They were there. They were on the field. They were in the pregame hype. Yeah. Yep. I agree with you on these teams don't get blown out, man. Look at San Diego State's record against the Pac-12. Look at Boise State's record against the Pac-12. Didn't Colorado State beat somebody? Did Colorado State beat Washington State last year? I want to say that's right.
And in this day and age, too, like
I might be wrong on that.
Size matters. Like the more teams, you're comfortable. You can find a way. I think CBS Sports and Fox Sports would be interested. They're not going to make the Mountain West a $20 million per year league. That's not going to happen. But you have a stable foundation. I'm sure you can get more out of your media rights still, and more from $4 million is obviously better for all these teams. And at least have something, because do you ever think this is going to stop? Like the only time it stops if there is like a shift and said, all right, these schools are playing an entirely different brand of football than everyone else. So.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk some Mountain West football. You're going to like this, dude. You're just going to like this dude. Like a big dude, big, tall, blonde dude named Thor, who likes to hit people and went to the Air Force Academy.
Remember that kid, the little kid who was like, I like to hit dingers.
That's kind of him.
Thor is just like, I like to hit people.
All grewed up. Thor Paglialong, Air Force offensive lineman, next on the opening drive. A 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
Quarterback in the NFL is an
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Takes a special human, let alone athlete, to play, compete, attend the Air Force Academy. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on the opening drive on The Sports Animal this morning. Media Days a couple weeks ago, we sat down with some really cool people and really enjoyed Thor Paglialong, the big offensive lineman from Air Force. Why do you go to Air Force? How tough is it? What's life like? And what we found from Thor is, A, he likes to hit people, and B, he was made for that program. He's a first-team all-conference lineman at the Air Force Academy, at least preseason. What does that mean to Thor Paglialong? You got a smile on your face. It's got to mean something. I know you're going to say, it doesn't mean anything. It's what we do all year. But it's got to mean something to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty special. I didn't have that honor the preseason. last year, but I'm looking to carry it over into the season, become first team. At the end of the
when
season.
It's all said and done.
It's a really good honor and truly blessed.
All right, you've got to have one of the trickiest jobs in this league, right? And I know that's a big statement, but you're the center, so you're calling the offensive line calls for the Air Force Academy, which is running that triple option, which is for an offensive lineman probably the trickiest line to play on in this league. So you've got to be really good, really bright. Like your job's tough.
Yeah, it is pretty difficult. Calling the fronts, especially with some of the teams that we play that like to stem a lot. But I feel like it's gotten slowed down for me a lot since my sophomore year, and the game started to slow down for me, and it's gone pretty good.
Do guys like playing in that offensive lineman? Would you rather be in a traditional offense or do you look at your face? I know where this is going.
No, it's fun. It's smash mouth football, and everyone on this offensive line loves to be here. It's running down, passing a couple times, but running the football is what we came here to do, and that's what we're going to do. So,
if we were to pull the offensive linemen now they're here today, would you guys rather be going downhill in a run game or pass blocking?
We'd rather be running. Yeah, we'd rather be running the ball. We get to hit people. It's just fun. That's what Air Force is all about. The triple option, running the football, and we truly believe that fullback dive. That's our number one play, and that's what we're going to do.
It's not just the option. You guys have good players on the offensive line. You guys have been nominated for the Joe Moore Award, best offensive line in the nation. How do you get guys to develop at the Air Force Academy? Because it's more than just running the option. You guys have a lot of good offensive linemen.
Yeah, so I'm going to credit that to our strength coaches. Coach Matt McGettigan, Coach Getty, he does a really good job at training the offensive line, like not just the offensive line, but everyone in general. Developing and putting on that muscle over the course of the time that you're here. And then Coach Lobo, Steve Labotsky, our offensive line coach, he does a great job at developing us from a technical perspective, and as far as assignment wise, that's kind of on us as well. But yeah.
Thor Paglialong is the center for the Air Force Academy. First team preseason all-conference. He's with us on The Sports Animal. The Air Force Academy is a different spot now. You knew going in it was going to be a different spot. You weren't going to be a student athlete like everybody else. What do you know now after all these years of the academy that maybe you didn't know when you signed up?
It's a lot more difficult than I thought. School-wise, it wasn't as challenging, but there's a lot of military stuff that we had to go through, and it wasn't all easy. It was difficult at some points, but it's worth it in the end.
Back in high school, it wasn't football. It was wrestling, and it was also lacrosse.
Yes.
What did you like about lacrosse, and what position did you play?
So I played defense. I played defense in lacrosse. It was fun. It's a physical sport. That's one thing I liked about it. Typically the attackers were smaller guys, and I kind of stood around the crease and started laying them out. Lacrosse was fun in high school. Yeah.
Also, you're a wrestler. Just being able to have those different skills, how has that helped you as a football player?
Yeah, wrestling-wise, it's hand fighting. Hand fighting and level changing. You do that a lot in wrestling. You do that a lot in football. Getting leverage on guys. It's all come together. Everything that I've done in high school, it's helped me here, and it's continuing to help me.
Thor Paglialong, the center at Air Force. So you've smiled a lot, and every time you smile, it's about when you hit someone, right?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a big family? Like, when did you realize? Look, everybody wants to hit instead of get hit. Like, I get that. But when did you realize? I love to hit people, and I can do it, and I'm really good at it.
I'd say probably middle school. They brought me up to the heavier weight classes because I was so big. And it was just fun, meeting some of my good friends there, just going to football practice, and we hit. That was back when there weren't a lot of restrictions, so we used to do Oklahoma drills all the time and all that stuff. So that stuff was really fun to me. And just growing up, I like the contact.
All right, now you're growing up even more, and you're going to be in the Air Force here pretty soon. What do you want to do? I have so much respect for you all who go to the Air Force Academy, and you're going to be the protectors of our country and the next generation. What is it you want to do in the Air Force, and how does the Academy prepare you for what you're going to do next?
Yeah, so the number one job that I put in for and I want to do is acquisitions. And then number 2 and 3 were contracting and aircraft maintenance. So I'm hoping to get one of those. I'll find out in the fall, like right before the season, I believe. But the Air Force Academy, it's rigorous, it's difficult, but it instills some discipline in you. You know, there's classes and there's military stuff that you have to do. So yeah.
Why'd you decide that? Because you could have. I know, coming from where you come from in the Midwest, you had opportunities to go be a student athlete, go party, go do the traditional route, and you opted to do this.
Yeah. So my high school coach, Mike Maloney, he talked to me. He said, think about the next 40 years, just not the next 4. And you know, that really spoke to me, I guess, because, you know, you can go to a regular college, party, do whatever you want there for 4 years. Once you graduate, you're kind of done. The Air Force Academy, you're there, graduate, you have a guaranteed job that pays really well, and you can do whatever you want from there. So I just thought it set me up better for life than most of the other colleges did.
What's the game day experience like? Home game at Air Force, just the environment, all the cadets there, the flyovers. It's got to be a really fun experience.
Yeah, it's really fun. So we'll stay in a hotel off base right before the game. We drive on to base, you know, police escort. It's always exciting. And then we get to the stadium. Our fans are there. It gets really rowdy. Our band, so the away locker room is right across from ours. There's I don't know if you've been to our stadium before, but there's an opening right above that all the fans look in, and our band's right outside the away locker room and right outside our locker room. And they're playing really loud. And yeah, the energy's through the roof, and then, you know, flyovers and all that stuff is cool too.
No, it's unbelievable, and you need to go at some point. Thor Paglialong's with us. He's the center at Air Force. You played in a bowl game last year. I know it gets cold in Colorado Springs, dude.
Yeah.
You were in the Armed Forces Bowl, and it was like 4 degrees with a -4 wind chill.
Yep.
Good job, by the way, winning that bowl game.
Thank you.
I mean, talk about that experience, because it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, no, we found out we were going to Texas for a bowl game. We were all excited because it was cold in Colorado. And, then we looked at the forecast and we saw that it was supposed to be, you know, it was the coldest bowl game I think ever, or something like that. And yeah, I mean, it was freezing, but we knew we had to do it. We were experienced with that kind of weather. We don't really run away from the weather. We'll just play through it.
So you guys wear people down. That's what you do on the offensive line, and you play power conference schools in bowl games and you beat them. Is there a pride? Is there a mantra as far as offensive linemen at Air Force that we're going to wear you down? And if you, I got to believe there's something to that.
Yeah, we got that. So our offensive line, we go by the nickname Diesel, right? So we just keep running people over, you know, keep wearing them out, and it's exciting for us. You know, being a part of this offensive line, it's special. You know, we just love running the football. We love playing Air Force football, and yeah, we just come to do our job, and it's really fun for us.
What is it like playing for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy?
It's really special. So, you know, the other 2 service academies, the games are always really fun, really enjoyable. And it's not just about the football too. You know, it's about the service. You know, there's people from everywhere in the world watching those kind of games, and it's really special to play in those. I mean, you could just feel it whenever you go to either Navy or when we played Army down in Texas last year. It's really special, and you could feel it.
Thor, best of luck to you. Congratulations on the preseason accolades, and Air Force picked high in the preseason polls. We'll see you somewhere down the line, but appreciate you spending some time.
Thank you very much.
This is John Marks with the CBS Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
For me.
Thanks, bud. Weekday afternoons from 4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, so I know we hype these up. I think, we only play the ones that are good. Like if there were a few that you won't listen to that, kind of weren't as good. But I know that we hype these up as pretty good conversations, and we tell you you're going to enjoy this guy and why, because JJ and I thoroughly enjoy these conversations, right? When we sit with these young men and these coaches at these days, we get a little different stuff out of them. They invariably, who was it that was telling me the other day? It was one of the SIDs. Where did I see an SID? Sports Information Director says, these guys, you threw the whole schedule off because these guys kept hanging around talking to you afterwards, right, JJ? So I know we hype them, but that was pretty cool.
It's supposed to be as a conversation, back and forth, listening, trying to get something else out of them, because they're talking X's and O's all day, and they're football players. They're there to talk football, but I want to know the stories of why they're there.
How'd they get there from wrestling in high school or from wherever? Yeah, I don't know. What you think?
Oh man,
that guy was cool, huh?
Oklahoma drills, man. Yeah. This guy is football. I dig him. That was a great one.
I'd love to hit people. I played lacrosse.
Like, he played lacrosse? Yeah, I just stood there and hit people.
And laid dudes
Makes sense.
But his whole concept, right? And this is the guy, he wants to go into acquisitions or airplane maintenance, and it's I hope you enjoy those. That's up. If you missed it or part of it or want to share it, it's up wherever you get podcasts. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the opening drive, and you can listen to Thor Pagulang along with any of the other conversations we've had with student athletes and coaches, and we'll keep putting them up as we play them for you. It's the opening drive on The Sports NFL. Jeff, JJ, and DC. 505-246-0610. We're going to meet UNM's new golf coach tomorrow. Guy who replaced Glenn Milliken. 7:30 tomorrow morning. We'll have that conversation. And looking forward to that. As we go through your Friday, what day is today? Wednesday? It's not Friday yet? It's Wednesday?
Not Friday.
Northwestern's got some more issues. Did you see Skip Holtz was hired to be like a consultant to the head coach at Northwestern, which, by the way, I think is a really good hire. I like Skip a lot as they try to clean that up. There's a gentleman named Ramon Diaz, and he filed a lawsuit. It came out today against the school, saying that he was hazed and mistreated because of his race. Now, this we kind of heard that everybody at that school was being hazed, right? Like, right?
Yeah.
Athletic programs. So he was an offensive lineman at Northwestern from 2005 to 2008. And without knowing the facts, this is going to be a tough one to prove. If everyone was getting hazed, it feels like it's going to be hard to prove that he was getting hazed because of his ethnicity. But he alleges that he was subjected to hazing that included the mocking of his Mexican heritage, along with, quote, microaggressions, end quote, from comments made by former offensive line coach Brett Ingles, as well as sexualized acts that have previously been alleged by other former players. Like, I can see him getting in on the class action suit and jumping on this, but he says that several Northwestern coaches witnessed hazing incidents or should have been aware of them. And in the lawsuit, he claims, and he names Ingles and James Patton, another offensive line coach. He claims that they made racist, embarrassing, degrading, and harassing remarks towards Diaz and other players. I'm going to tell you, I bet coaches in every facility around America, pro, college, high school, are just going, damn. Some of the stuff that I've said over the years, I got to stop. Like
I think you can still have a level of accountability, responsibility, pushing student athletes out there. But knowing, just because you want to blast a bunch of curse words out there doesn't make someone harder or better.
It's not even curse
going
word.
at their ethnicity or trying to do some ridiculous stereotype. Like, it's not hard. Like, you can still coach players hard this day and age, despite what some of the people say or think about student athletes these days. If you're a good coach, you can connect with your team without
being offensive.
The ridiculous stuff that it goes down, like, oh, we have to do this because now we're going to be better. It's going to build character.
Let me ask you this, and I don't know that there's a solid answer to this. And both of you guys, I mean, and this could be generational, and I'm super careful of it. Okay, how close do you have to be to someone before you make lighthearted yet acceptable jokes about one's ethnicity, religion, background, whatever, right? I mean, do you guys have buddies where you give them a hard time and make jokes about that you're close enough that you can do that with?
Everyone has friends in their life that they joke with differently.
The stereotypical, right? Do you have a few? You don't. Okay. Do you?
I have friends I probably could, but we just don't get down like that.
Yeah, we don't do it a lot, but every once in a while something will come up, and it certainly happened a lot more when I was younger, right? Over the years, all the practices I've been to, the way coaches have spoken. Now, I'm not saying much recently in the last 5 to 8 years.
This is so much more than just a hard practice.
No. I'm not hard practice.
I'm saying,
the
like,
verbiage.
This is deep because you can go to practice tomorrow and people are still going to be like cursing or whatever.
I'm not. I don't think anybody's offended by F-bombs and I think it's when you single someone out for their ethnicity. In this young man's case, his Mexican heritage or a religion or whatever. I think those days have long passed. You can't do that anymore, right?
Well, and I think there's things you can do as teams, like all freshmen carrying pads. Oh, you guys,
that's all right.
The NFL training camps, like singing songs, this or that. But obviously, there was an old school mindset that went too far then, even though it was
That's right.
acceptable.
That's right.
But at some point in time, you're like, no, you can't treat me like this just because I'm on a football team.
Look, there's stereotypes that I've heard on fields for whether it's Italian, Jewish people, or African Americans, for Hispanics, for pick it, Catholics. I mean, there's stereotype for everything, right? And they were used on fields. It sounds like that's kind of what this is. And I don't care how old school you are. If you are going to continue in a profession, you need to evolve to become, I don't know, new school or less old school. I mean, what was good? That's the wrong word. What was passable? I don't even know if it was acceptable, right? 20, 30 years ago, in large part is not. I agree with you. You can still be hard. You can still coach them. You can still drop F-bombs if you need to. But when it is pointed now, and this what this young man is saying, and again, I don't know if his allegations are true or not, but I just, the whole evolution of coaching, we talk to coaches all the time about the evolution. Well, there's the NIL and the portal, and there's this. And I told you, I talked to a head coach recently, and someone I was with said, how much like control, how much do you have over what these guys do? He says, I control two things, whether they're here and whether or not they play. That's it. That's it.
And think about, in all our lives, the good coaches we know, or even the Division 1, 2 professional coaches that you've been around and been able to experience. Like this has nothing to do with coaching. This is just thinking that, we're building an environment by allowing, this stuff, hazing stuff to happen. Like that's not coaching at all. That's not old school coaching. That's just, you let a group of people feel like they have more power over someone else, and it gets out of control.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair. Quote from this young man, Ramon Diaz at Northwestern. There is a culture that has been condoned by the athletic department and university that has allowed these coaches to behave the way they do. I believe focus should be shifted toward the athletic department specifically, but Northwestern at large. The atmosphere will not change. The atmosphere will not change systematically if that does not happen. Talk about Northwestern. So is there a part of you that says, all right, you were there from 05 to 08. So you graduated 15 years ago.
Why now?
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you coming at me now? Why are you piling on now? Where were you?
Didn't want to be first. It's kind of tough to go out and say you were sexually harassed by all your teammates. So I think he jumped on the bandwagon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you I think that diminishes his allegations or credit, gives it any more credit. I don't know. I guess I'm struggling in some respect, unless there's more and more that come out like this, that everybody was hazed, but this young man was only hazed because he was...
No, you can see what happened. It was hazing, and thus they used who he was in hazing.
I mean, I could write the script for you, and it would be pretty close, right? Yeah.
Do you remember Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito?
I do.
It's very similar when you look at it, and that was probably the time
but go ahead, because there's a lot of people who don't. Go ahead and put that into context.
Well, Jonathan Martin basically came out and said he was being harassed by his teammates.
Who was an offensive lineman, Richie Incognito.
Right, and Mike Pouncey.
Led by, yeah.
And what he said, he and one other harassed player that is anonymous, I guess, they were subjected to homophobic name-calling and improper physical touching, very similar to Northwestern. They had a racial element that was brought up. There was bullying, all these things that are coming out now about Northwestern. They could have done this in 2014.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right, here's what you want to know as you go through your day. There was a no-hitter in the big leagues last night. Framber Valdez, Houston Astros, first lefty in Astros history. They got, do you know, since 1962, the year the Astros came into the league, the Houston Astros have thrown more no-hitters than any team in the big leagues?
16.
Would that have surprised you?
Nolan Ryan pitched.
And he had 7 of them, but I want to say the majority were with the Angels, weren't they?
Yeah, he only had 1 with the Astros.
Yeah.
Only one with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would surprise me. I thought he maybe had a couple more with the Astros.
Who was it Scott? What was his first name? That pitched a no-hitter to clinch the division one year. They had one of those, but yeah, they've had tremendous. But he was the first lefty to throw a complete game no hitter for the Houston Astros in the history of that team. And they're in the middle. So what a day for them. They get Justin Verlander back. They get a no hitter. They win 2-0. And they are, I mean, like they're in a spot right now. They're gonna end up winning that division, I think, over the Rangers. And I think you got to look at them as a favorite, don't you? All right, thanks to Thor Paglialong, Air Force's lineman. It's up and on the podcast if you'd like to hear it or share it. Adrian, good work as always. I think we got something new figured out for you. I'm kind of fired up about it. Ooh, my 5 head's cut off. You could have told me that. I'll fix that. Great stuff by you, DC. Great work. Appreciate you. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. Then you get Isotopes and the Aviators of Las Vegas. We're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it, please. Be good to each other. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. See you tomorrow.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.